pay-per-view draw. Dude, this woman would sell out any arena in the world and do millions of pay-per-view buys when she fights for her strawweight championship in 2026. The one and only, haven't talked to her in weeks, dog lover, Gillian the Savage Robertson.
Oh,
I haven't talked to you since last year.
been
You win. All right. See you guys next week. That's a good one.
I'm sorry.
I said that I was like on vacation during that little run, and like the person rang us out. I think I got like Mentos or something, and I go, "Thank you so much. See you next year." And I was like, "Got it. Still got it. Still got my fastball. Love it."
Got to get the dad jokes in.
Oh, tell them it's what I do. What I do. Gee, how the hell are you? How was your holidays? How was your New Year's? I would assume you were in bed at 8:42 p.m. and did not see anything. I would assume.
Yeah, that's a pretty good assumption there, man. Yeah, it was just on New Year's. It was just another day. Christmas, I went up to Port St. Lucie, spent some time with my family, so that was nice as always. But then, yeah, New Year's, I trained that morning and I trained the next day, and it was just a normal day for me there.
I don't know if you saw this earlier. We had Chris Alvidrez on the show just 30 minutes ago. He was giving you nothing but like love. He's like, dude, this girl, Gillian. By the way, he calls you Gilliana. He butchered your first name. He butchered it. But he's like, dude, she's in the gym. First one in there, last one to leave. Every time I'm there, she's already beat me to the gym. He was giving you some love, giving you some shine.
I appreciate that. Yeah, he's a killer at our gym too. I honestly, like, maybe it is the new year. Goat Shed has been alive these last couple weeks, and like, I feel like big things are coming this year.
Well, talking about that, and I got some other stuff for you, and hopefully you got my text about the new championship thing, because we'll hit on that. But one thing I did see, and I saw it on your Instagram story, and then I almost texted you, and then another brain thought went through my head, and then it was 2 days later, and I'm like, oh, can't text her now, and I'll talk to her on the show. Did I see an Instagram story of a really high-level strawweight fighter that you wrote the letter soon with your devil emoji on it? Did I see that right?
Yeah. I don't know if that's the next one, you know.
Okay. I was like, wait a second, gee, that's a big jump. She's like fourth in the world.
Not sure which one. Maybe we're talking about different. I thought you were talking about a post that I had of Whaley and Joanna up.
Wait, that wasn't Non? That wasn't Jan Sean Non?
I'm pretty sure the video was Whaley and Joanna. Yeah, it was Whaley, and that's why I'm like that's a little bit of a jump right now.
Maybe not just yet.
Yeah, but maybe by the end of this year we can be talking about that.
I can see it. I assume you'll be watching a big main event, Mackenzie Dern and Amanda Ribas this weekend. We talked about it a couple shows ago. Maybe you got a phone call about these girls. So it's so funny how I remember making that post with you and Dern years ago. It felt like at least 10 months ago, 14 months ago. And it's like, we're here. Like it's spring, late spring, early summer, 2025. Those paths are happening.
I feel like all the girls that I'm like, I'm going to fight her one day. It never happens.
That's how it goes, right?
Yeah. I mean, whenever I was in the Tough House, Montana De La Rosa was the only other girl that was my age. And we were just kind of similar style. She's a jiu-jitsu girl as well. So I was always like, I think I'm going to fight her one day. We're definitely going to fight. Never fought her. Ever. Never matched us up. And
I think you choked her out in an island, though.
Oh, we just grappled. I didn't get the finish in it, but yeah, we have grappled on Karate Combat in Cancun in Mexico, so that was nice. Yeah, but I'm like, yeah, wasn't a bad little trip. Yeah,
it counts. The check's cleared in the mail. I hope.
But this weekend, I honestly don't know which way I'm siding. I was siding Hebus heavy. But Dean's kind of convinced me a little bit. He thinks the Mackenzie.
Me too.
I think I'm with Dean.
That's so funny. When the fight was announced, I'm like, oh, I think Amanda. But then the more like after their first fight, of course, but just in their last like 2 years or even a year and a half. Like, I feel like Mackenzie's like this, and I feel like, and I'm maybe I'm way off, guys. I think Amanda's starting the downslope a little bit. Yeah, a little bit like that. And I think Mackenzie to me has looked really good. I thought her win against Lupi was a really good win.
That's what I'm using as my benchmark for this fight.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with her in that fight.
Me too.
That's the only thing I was gonna say is I feel like she does show up sometimes, and then sometimes I don't see the same Mackenzie that I saw. So it's like she'll come up and she'll really impress me, and then the next fight I'll be like, "Oh, that's not what I thought I saw last fight."
Right. No, I get that. That's for sure a thing. I can see Hebus doing that sometimes too, though.
Yeah. I just think Hebus is a little bit more of a dog, and that's what I think is really gonna like push her through this. I think it is a close, I guess, like technically matched.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just think Hebus is a dog, and I think I think she's gonna be able to still get the win the second time. She's also like, you watch her fight Luana Pena, or no, not Luana, might have been Mackenzie that I watched, because I started studying her a little bit. I got off with the name. I started looking a little bit. Oh no, it was Verena Jandiroba when she fought her.
Oh, Verna, yeah.
She was able to just completely shut down all of her takedowns. Mackenzie doesn't necessarily have the strongest takedown game, and I just think that Hebus is going to be able to keep it on the feet and keep it in her game.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, we might be on opposite sides. This might sound like a graphic. Dave's on Mackenzie Dern, Gillian thinking Amanda Ribas. If you can answer the question, if not, it's no big deal. I don't know if he's working the card or whatever. What did Dean Thomas say to kind of persuade you, maybe Mackenzie?
He just thinks that she like how you guys are saying, some of her fights she has looked good, but it I guess also what I said, he said she's just inconsistent. So I think that if he believes that if the Mackenzie Dern that shows up that fought Angela Hill, then it's her fight, which I agree with on that point. But I'm like, I just think that was such a unique performance for Mackenzie, and I also think Hebus is more well-rounded than Angela is.
And you guys can absolutely answer this question way better than I can. To me, Angela Hill, I hate to say this, I know that sounds bad. I don't feel you're scared to fight her. Does that make sense? Like you're like, oh, she's absolutely going to tear my neck apart, or calf kick me to death. I feel like if you're not, I don't want to use the word scared, but if you're not like going against another opponent that you're feeling like, oh, I got to really watch out for this. I felt like Mackenzie felt so confident in that fight, and that's why you saw a really good performance. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, 100%, especially on the striking, where she can be like, I guess, more reckless, because it's like, who cares if I get taken down? Like, I'm going to be able to handle myself here. So it's like she can just kind of like lunge in with the strikes. And I guess Mackenzie and Hebus are more finishers than you can consider Angela Hill.
Yeah,
right.
Totally agree. Cool.
I guess I was going to say, as somebody who has made the switch between flyweight and strawweight, how do you feel about Hebus kind of doing this like yo-yo thing back and forth between the two weight classes?
Yeah, I think actually that's actually a reason also Dean brought it up. It was at 15 the first time, but Dean also thinks that the cut's going to be harder for Hebus just in general. I've actually, at my last fight, Mackenzie Dern's, I believe, boyfriend was on the card. And that was the first time I've ever seen her in person. And I was honestly shocked by how tiny she was.
Yeah, she's not as big as she used to be. She definitely used to be a lot thicker.
I'm like, seeing her on camera, seeing her on TV, I thought she was bigger. I feel like I've trained with Amanda Hebus at ATT in the past, and I feel like Amanda and I are more similar sizes. Where when I saw Dern, I was like, oh, she's tiny.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Dude, Julian's got like Joe Pfeiffer vibes right now. Dude, Joe was on the show at the beginning. He was just launching. He was just throwing rockets at me. Yeah, just
get some gold from Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll see reels for the next 2 days on our socials. All right. If I kind of want to save our little fun mini announcement maybe later. G, did you see the championship text I gave you? Do you have a kind of fun list, or are you ready to go on that?
I did not see it.
Okay.
I did not see the text.
I feel like this
When
is
did you send this text?
this is one we can do on the spot. I feel like this is
Okay.
something people like me and G think about.
Okay. All right. This is fun
Regularly.
then. All right. So
If it's what I think it is.
yeah, just my thing is we ended 2024 in the UFC. So we have champions. We have 3 female champions and 7 male champions. Where's my sheet? Oh my goodness. All right, here we go. What do you think will end 2025 now? If you have to predict and guess, we're going to go each division, and who do you think will be the champion at the end of 2025? All right, so I'll start, and you guys can be like, oh, Dave, totally agree, or no way, and you got a gut guy like that. So let's start with females. Ladies always first. Strawweight division. I know she fights in a couple weeks. She'll defend her championship. I think Weili is going to retain her championship and maybe not even fight again in 2025, but maybe if she does, Gillian's not there yet. So I think Weili will be the strawweight female championship at the end.
I disagree with that.
Okay.
I do think Tatiana is going to win the fight. I do think that I do agree that I don't know. Weili this last year only fought one time. And
Yeah.
I'm like, she's not the most active, so I do agree that she's only going to be probably fighting 1 year. But I do think, and maybe Tatiana too, because she's not the most active either.
I know.
A lot of health problems. And
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you have Tatiana winning and keeping it for the year?
Yeah, I think. I'm assuming that'd be her only fight, honestly, in the year.
Okay.
But I see Tatiana winning it.
Ooh.
Again, like I've actually never even seen Weili in person. But I've worked with Tatiana before. I've gotten grappling rounds with her. I've felt her, and just watching her perform too. I feel like watching like Weili versus Carla obviously wasn't a great matchup, but I still saw a lot of holes in Weili's jiu-jitsu game, which I think Tatiana is just going to be on top of, capitalizing and not giving her space to breathe.
Okay. I got Weili. G's got Tatiana. L, break the tie, or you can go somewhere else.
No, I was on the Weili train, but lately I've kind of been starting to shift.
Okay.
I'm leaning Tatiana. It's a very slight lean.
Okay.
But
all right.
I'm actually leaning. I think she might get it done. And I agree with what you said, G. I don't think either of them are fighting again this year. So
okay. So G and L has Tatiana. All right. Next is the flyweight division. I know this is going to sound super boring. I think she fights one time. I think she retains her championship just like Weili. I think Valentina will be the champ at the end of the year.
You want to go first, G?
Yeah, I think it's hard to argue. The only person I could see that maybe could be an exciting fight, but would be Farhat, Manon Farhat.
Yeah,
that's the only one I'm debating. But I still, Valentina's still Valentina. It's hard to take her out of that fight too. I'm gonna go with Manon though. Fuck it.
Okay.
I'm more confident on that side. I actually think Fiorot would beat her. I'm not seeing the same Valentina from years ago. I think she's more reserved. I think Fiorot will maintain the distance well enough in these kickboxing exchanges to not get taken down and controlled like we saw in the last Alexa Grasso fight. I just wasn't that impressed with the way either of them fought this last time. And I think Fiorot has all the tools.
Dude, you guys are doing so good. Maybe you guys can do like a little fun show together. I don't know. We'll talk about that later. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. All right. To me, Valentina had a little bit of GSP in her. Like, she's not going to be the exciting fighter that GSP was when the rise. I think Valentina's got a year or two left of just kind of winning fights. Very smart IQ, veteranship, that kind of stuff. But I've been wrong a lot in life. Bantamweight championship, female. I think this is, to me, the easiest one. There could be a big fight at the end of 2025 with her against a lioness, maybe coming back. But I got Kayla Harrison being the 2025 champ.
You know I do too. So
okay.
I guess on the roster, yes.
Yes.
But if the lioness comes back, then I might have to side with Amanda.
Yeah.
That's the only debatable thing for me is if Amanda comes back. But on the roster, I put Kayla.
because I see the Kayla fight happen in March, April, right? Like her versus Pena, and that'll be enough time. Imagine if Amanda's cage side, she wins and that starts. I can see, honestly, the December pay-per-view being headlined by Amanda and Kayla. I think that'd be kind of cool, kind of fun. So, cool. All right. So, Kayla for all three of us. Men's flyweight, to me, one of the easiest ones. I think he's one of the best fighters on this planet. I think he just fought a really tough challenger. I think Pantoja will fight once or twice more this year. I got Pantoja defending the championship all of 2025.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Okay. This is a fun one now. All right. So the bantamweight division, Merab Dvalishvili's the champ. He fights in 10, 11 days against Umar Nurmagomedov. There's Umar. There's other challengers. Sugar Sean O'Malley wants a rematch, and I think it will happen in 2025 against one of those guys. But you ready for this one? I think I'm going to surprise people. I got Merab winning this fight and winning later on this year. I got Merab winning 2025.
Oh, I don't think that's surprising. I'm
Okay.
with you. I do think it's gonna be really close, but I do think he's gonna beat Umar.
No, I actually do agree with you too. I'm like, I think the 135 division is one of the more interesting divisions with like the top 10, how it's stacked. But I think Merab does like, he's just such a power horse. Doesn't stop.
And I think he's in his prime right now. I think like we're seeing the best of Merab for another 18 months, like 3 title fights, and then we'll probably see the chink in the armor start to kind of falter and the age and all that stuff. I just like everyone that I've been hearing, guys, has been on the Umar train, and like he's great. He's undefeated, like Umar Nurmagomedov. He's got the last name. I love Merab in this fight. I don't know why. I really do. O'Malley comes back. Okay, I can see that. Featherweight division, to me, this was the easiest one. Ilia Topuria might be the best fighter alive. All that lightweight talk, I think, is just smoke. I think Ilia is the featherweight champion.
Till Max comes back.
Hey, I respect that.
He says he's not coming back down, though. He says he's a lightweight now.
I said Ilia, like, he's just so well-rounded. He has it everywhere. He has the striking. He has good wrestling offense, able to handle jiu-jitsu well. It's hard to argue with that.
I think that Ilia will remain the champion at the end of the year for one reason, and that is because the UFC is not going to give Movsar a title shot. Okay. If Movsar gets it, if the UFC does what they should. I agree. Movsar ends the year as champ.
Dawson's think alike. Why do you think Max is going to fight at Move Up, El?
Because he said so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In several interviews. Dave, stop it. Just go away.
All right.
I know nothing.
All right. Talking about the lightweight division, this guy fights in 11 days. Great fight. Islam versus Arman 2. We'll definitely get into that all next week. I might be FaceTiming L in Los Angeles, kind of breaking down this fight. I love this fight. I'm really pumped. I think it's a great main event. I'm going to go until he loses, until I see Grant Dawson fights him. Then I will go against him. I have Islam Makhachev defending his championship. As long as Grant Dawson gets there, I got Islam being the champ.
I will say that our Sarukian in their first fight was the toughest fight I've ever seen for Islam in the UFC. So I'm like, it definitely makes me, I don't know, I'm rooting for the underdog. I wanna lean towards Sarukian, and I feel like his grappling exchange, I don't know. Islam is so good though too. I'm like fighting with myself. I'm gonna go with the underdog. I'm gonna say Sarukian. Okay. I feel like he was Islam's toughest match he's ever had in the UFC.
Other than obviously getting knocked out by Martins. Who has been training with Arman for this fight. But I agree with you, G. I think Arman is, not only does he have the tools to beat Islam, I think the cut to 155 is killing Islam. Yeah. I think it gets harder every single time he does it. He's not getting to fight near home. He's traveling to LA to do this. I don't like the travel with the cut. And I just feel like Dustin had so many moments where he made Islam look mortal. And I know it's easy for us to see those moments when we see somebody as dominant as Islam had been before that. But if anybody can capitalize on those moments, I think Arman's that guy. So I'm with you. I think Arman finishes the year this time.
Wow. So the three times we disagree, you guys totally agree. Okay. This is a good one. This is, to me, very chaotic. We can see, I think, multiple championship fights. There's multiple challengers involved. I even think the champion will be the underdog with his next fight. The welterweight division, who will be the champ at the end of 2025? I know I was chalk. I was chalk for flyweight, chalk for bantam, feather, lightweight. I'm chalk again in the welterweight division. I think Bully Bilal beats Shavkat Rakhmonov, and then whoever he fights at the end of the year, and I think he will fight twice. If it's Jack Della Maddalena or Leon, whoever wins that fight, I think Bilal beats that man too. I got Bully Bilal being the champ at the end of 2025.
You're probably right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you on that one.
Look at that. I love it. All right. There's that.
Another just crazy, well-rounded guy.
Yeah, he's so damn underrated. Like, it's insane. He's going to be a pretty good size underdog against Shavkat. The middleweight division. This is a fun one for me. This is the one my first title change, and I think I'm kind of going at the end of the tree limb. I got 2 title changes. I think Sean Strickland beats Strikeus in February. Chimaev beats Strickland in November. I got Chimaev ending the year as the middleweight champion.
That's who I was gonna call Chimaev. He looked too good his last fight, honestly.
Against a guy like Whitaker,
I know it was just a very impressive performance in such a short period of time, and it was just I don't see him not being able to get that belt.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Oh my goodness, Chimaev, I love it.
I actually like your path to that too. I think that's right. I agree.
Thank you. That's why I get paid the big bucks out. 2 left, light heavyweight and heavyweight. Light heavyweight, if you pick anyone else, you're just not a fan of great combat sports. Alex Pieda is fun. He's must-see TV. He should be the champion until death. All right, Chama, light heavyweight.
I have a question for you, Dave.
Okay.
How many years does Alex Pereira have to finish the year as UFC champion for you to say his name right?
I will never say his name right. That's just my pick. Is it Pereira? Pieda? Pereira? Dude, Chama. Poetan.
Chama. He's just Chama.
Unbelievable.
I walked through 3 people this year. It's hard to say anybody else. Yeah.
All right. I agree. The only guy who can is Ankalaev, but I don't see it right now.
And it's so weird. I don't know. Anthony Smith, come on. Anthony Smith will never fight again. Gee whiz. Tell him. All right, heavyweight division. This is a fun one. So I kind of thought about it. I'm just going to go with the odds, and I'm going to say 2 different ways this man could be world heavyweight champion. To me, it's going to be Tom Aspinall. I do think they're going to fight. I do think Aspinall and Jones is going to fight. So 1, he could win the fight and be world champion. Or I think if he wins or loses and Jones doesn't want to fight again, something funky happens, or even if they don't fight and Jones gets stripped, I think at the end of 2025, like I said, multiple different ways, maybe I'm being too analytical about it, I think Tom Aspinall ends the year as undisputed world heavyweight champion.
No, I could agree with that too. I think that who do you think wins the Aspinall Jones when they do fight?
I think Jones. I'm going to be one of those people. 2 years ago, I always said this guy was going to win or this one. I always picked against Habib, Islam, Jones, Demetrius Johnson. Why do that? Those guys always win. When they get beat or get upset, it's wow, that was crazy. I can be a part of the upset. I will pick Jones until he doesn't fight. The man doesn't lose. He's the greatest MMA fighter I ever seen inside a cage.
And it's just his last 2 performances, I feel like he's looked very clean, effortless.
Yeah.
Just smart decisions. I'm with you. I feel efficient. That's the best word. I'm I feel like I have to side with you. Oh, I don't know. I think that Jones wins, then retires, and then Aspinall is gonna get the belt after that.
Like, just say if they fight on International Fight Week in July, and that's what I kind of foresee that fight happening. And just say if Jones leaves, I think they can do an Aspinall Volkov at the end of the year. Like, I can see that fight happening, like in November in MSG. Like, you know,
that makes sense.
So,
did you guys off topic? Totally. No, I agree with you.
Okay.
Off topic, but did you see the one man to ever beat Jones, Mark Hamill? Did you see the story about Mark Hamill getting hearing aids, getting to hear his kids' voices for the first time?
I know.
No.
Yeah, dude, I'm reading it crying. Yeah, crying.
It was so sweet. Yeah. So
he's 41 years old. He got the most powerful hearing aids ever of like to date. And yeah, like for Christmas or something happened over the holidays, he heard his kids for the first time. I was like, yeah, pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. 41 years.
41 years of being done. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's wild. He's probably like, I know this is horrible. I bet you sometimes like, God dang it, can I be deaf for a little bit longer?
You can always turn him back down. My dad does that with his sometimes. He's
done listening
to us. He's like,
yeah, it's like that David talking to fighting that is talking junk again. She was. All right, we did it. I think G, we took up a ton of your time. Can we? So Elle texted me earlier today. She's like, yeah, I talked to G about something. I'm like, wait. You're talking with Gillian without me? That's first of all.
You weren't invited.
Second of all, what she told me that you guys were talking about, I'm very excited about. And I guess, Elle, do you want to talk about it on air? Or what do you?
Absolutely. So as we started the show off, obviously very sad to say our goodbyes to our very lovely Maddie Levine for the time being. Hopefully not forever. But so I know you guys love the Sunday Morning Brew, and I didn't want to spoil the Sunday Morning Brew by adding Dave's face to the mix. I thought it needed a much prettier face. So starting this Sunday, Gillian the Savage Robertson will be my new co-host for the Sunday Morning Brew. I messed it up. It was going to be so cute, but no. We will be with you every Sunday morning at 10 a.m.
I love it. It's nothing better than the Sunday Morning Brew after a pay-per-view. Like that Sunday, like even me, I literally own the company. I'm like, I cannot wait to watch the show. It's like everything happened. The press conference, you wake up the next morning and you'll see a new champion or, the guy calls out someone else. It's such a good show. So pumped. There you go. And we've been saying it for years. More Gillian the Savage Robertson is good with us. So, G, that's amazing. We love it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm super excited.
It'll be fun. It's a good time.
Well,
it gets a little unhinged, but it's just fun.
But nothing. It's like eating barbecue and before Karate Combat. Nothing. So good.
So good.
Little unhinged.
So good. So good. All right. G, you're the absolute best. Hopefully you had a great beginning of 2025. Could be a humongous fighting year for you. And we'll see you soon. We'll talk to you soon.
I'll see you guys soon.
Later, G. All right.
Bye.
Gillian the Savage Robertson. Dude, that was cool. So Sunday morning with G. That is fun.
I'm so pumped. I know I need I'm sad. Now we're going to have to make new intros. And
I know.
It's bittersweet.
Maddie Levin's going to cost $3,000 in promotional videos and artwork.
Her face is everywhere.
I know.
We need to have her face pop up